2, 3, 4. I gave you all I had to give, and I done the best I can. So now it's up to you to finish what I began. Yes, I will always love you, and I'll be there just for you. So in all that you do, my child, to yourself you must be true. So promise me that you will fight for what it is that you believe. No matter what you do in life, it's in the giving that you'll receive. Wherever the road may take you, those you meet along the way, promise me that you will count your blessings every day.
And a very good day to you, or morning, or evening, whenever you happen to catch this. I am Jason Hawes, back here once again on American Faith Today. So great to be back doing another podcast here for you. And as always, I am very, very appreciative for you spending this time with me. 45 minutes or so out of your day and out of your life. That is more appreciated than you know, especially in these times when either we're still intensely busy or maybe for various reasons less so with everything that's going on and that we're either forced to do or through circumstances happens to us in terms of maybe being laid off or having less work available to us. But, whether it's, again, lack of time or just the harried events of the day that occupy your time, for you to, again, spend some time with me, always appreciate it. And this is something that, of course, is shared on Facebook. It's shared one or two places off of Facebook, various groups in Facebook, the American Faith Today Facebook page. It's now actually available. I probably have to do some more work with this to try to tweak it. Almost sounded like Elmer Fudd there, but try to tweak it. But it is available in some sense on Amazon Alexa now. And of course on my personal timeline, I always post these, and I do have a list. I do try to keep a list of names of people who have requested to be tagged, to be notified. I will always do my best to stay on top of that for all of you, because I do appreciate you taking this time. I want to talk about, of course, the same subject, but again, I want to do it in a different way. The last couple of times we did some Bible studies, and it was great to see that a number of you enjoyed those. A number of you took great comfort in those. That's the whole point when it comes down to it. Take comfort from God's Word. But I wanted to take the time, and as always, I've got more information than I know what to do with. So we'll see what time will allow. But I want to take the time to do a very practical, natural, health-based show on coronavirus, on COVID-19, on viruses in general, on our health and our immune system, because all of this can apply to coronavirus, and all of this can apply to any virus, to just maintaining and improving your general health. I never ask specifically that you share these. I certainly never beg for anybody to share these. Some of you do. That's always appreciated. But it's just not my personality. But I will say that this might be something that might be handy to share. If you know one, if there's someone in your life that you're connected to through Facebook or what have you, or however you would choose to share this. If you do, again, you're not going to hear me beg now. But if there's anybody who is greatly fearful still when it comes to this, I'm very, very, I guess, happy are very encouraged that I'm not the only one who makes note of 2 Timothy 1:7 during these times, which says, "For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, and of love, and of a sound mind." And we can't give in to fear, and we have to try to help. Hopefully, none of our Christian brothers and sisters are really giving in to fear. But if they are, and even those that are friends who may not be believers, we have to try to help pull them out of fear and out of confusion, as God will allow. And so, like I said, if you know somebody who's just burned up with fear over all this, or anxiety, maybe this would help them. If they have somewhat of an open mind. But let's get going with this, if we may. And I want to try to, as time will allow, approach this from maybe three different levels. The first thing that I want to approach this from is just the idea that it is a virus, because we know how to deal with viruses. We do. We know how to naturally deal with viruses. And I will start by saying that the best offense against any virus or infection is a good defense, building up your immune system as much as possible. So I want to start with just some basic, and these are on a website, and I'll add a thing or two here as time will allow, but just some basic good health maintenance, kind of preventative maintenance for your health tips. Tip number 1, and by the way, for the most part, this list comes from herbal-healer.com, and actually there's a specific link to it, coronavirus, what it is, and how to prepare for NCOV. But these are just ways to build up your immune system. There's people, obviously, out there that essentially never get the flu, that basically even never get a cold. And why is that? They have strong immune systems. So, point 1, now, these are hard to stick to for various reasons, but you want to try to stick to it as much as possible, certainly. Point 1, only eat organic foods. These are the most natural, purest foods that you can eat in this day and age. If you eat organic produce, it certainly is produce that should not have been sprayed with any pesticide, with any herbicide, will not have been genetically modified. Hopefully will have no Roundup or glyphosate. Unfortunately, we can't say that 100% in this day and age, due to it being in the groundwater, perhaps in the soil, and through drift, through wind actually blowing it onto maybe even organic produce, if you will. But still, organic produce is as close to God's produce. What grows in what comes out of the ground that God provided is as close to that as possible. And of course, you can also get organic eggs from vegetarian-fed hens, maybe cage-free hens. You can get beef and chicken that has no antibiotics, no steroids, no hormones of any kind. If you do dairy, if you can tolerate dairy, you can get dairy products from grass-fed cows or grass-fed goats. You're going to find obviously more cows than goats. I just happened to, in my youth, have a lot of goats at one time. But you can get grass-fed dairy products. Again, with no hormones, with no antibiotics, no steroids. You want to try to drink as much purified, filtered water as you can. They say 8 glasses a day, but many would say up to 50% of your body weight each and every day in water to stay as hydrated as possible. And certainly, as far as that goes, I personally can drink more water. Probably all of us can, but you want to drink purified water without fluoride, without chlorine, without lead, arsenic, chromium 6. If you buy bottled water, buy it BPA free and try to stay away as much as possible from, water products that are bottled by Pepsi, by Coca-Cola, by Nestle. Exercise daily for 30 minutes. Take 15 milligrams of zinc daily. Zinc is something most of us are deficient in, and we're deficient in a lot of things, sadly, minerals and vitamins. But as well as that, I'll add, which isn't even included in here, obviously vitamin C. The RDA for vitamin C is kind of ridiculous at 90 milligrams a day. That's not going to do much of anything for you, except it'll pretty much guarantee that you won't get scurvy. But if you really want to boost your immune system and maintain your immune system, you want to take in probably 2 grams, a good 2 grams, 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C each and every day. A whole food multivitamin and mineral supplement. And so many people do take a multivitamin, which is good in and of itself, although again, so many of the store-bought multivitamins are synthetic. That's why you want to try to get something that is whole food. This particular multivitamin that I'm holding right now, that has 587 milligrams of organic food blend with organic apple, organic lemon peel, organic holy basil leaf, all this stuff organic, mushroom, strawberry, cherry, blackberry, blueberry, raspberry, beets, broccoli, carrots, spinach, tomato, green bell pepper, Brussels sprouts, ginger, garlic, green onion, parsley, cauliflower, red cabbage, asparagus, celery, cucumber, kale. Again, all of that organic, all of that a blend that provides pretty much all of these vitamins and minerals listed. That's what you want out of your multivitamin, nothing really synthetic. You want to try to get some sunshine as much as you can, as that helps metabolize vitamin D. You also want to make sure you're getting magnesium, which helps metabolize vitamin D and calcium in your body, and fresh air, of course. Also, you might want to try a good probiotic, because so many of us, even in the mainstream, they'll now say 70% of your immune health or your immune system's in your gut. And so many of us, through environmental factors and poor diet, have a messed up gut microbiome, have an out of balance intestinal flora, where I think the balance is supposed to be 70% good bacteria, 30% bad. But what happens is we take in all this sugar and all these refined carbohydrates, and the bad bacteria feeds on that, and it has numerous destructive effects on our body, causing inflammation throughout the body, causing an acidic pH to develop, which leads to long-term chronic problems like high blood pressure, that especially from the inflammation, but problems, damage to your organs, type 2 diabetes, cancer. But what it also does is it causes that intestinal flora to get out of whack, to where the bad bacteria feed on the sugar and start to overwhelm or get too much in, again, the balance. You have more bad bacteria perhaps than good, or too much bad bacteria anyway. And so you need, in that situation, you do need a good probiotic to replenish the good bacteria in your intestine, in your gut, in your stomach. Also, for many of us, I know for myself, digestive enzymes is something that gets depleted. And so if you can get some digestive enzymes in a supplementary form, what that does is that helps you absorb. Not only does it help break down the food, so you won't have some of the gastrointestinal problems and symptoms that many of us suffer from in our daily lives, but also it breaks down those foods, and it helps to better absorb the nutrients from those foods and from those whole food multivitamins that you can take. Those, again, just some good health maintenance, some good immune system maintenance and building tips. Also, as it says here from another website, patriotcbd.org,